Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aulia Dela Zazkia. I want to explain my resume. The first is structuralism. Structuralism is way of approaching text, the practice that is delivered from the theoretical work of the Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure of the culturalism is a theoretical approach that identifies patterns in social arrangements, while post-structuralism builds on the insights of structuralism. It holds all meaning to be fluid rather than universal and predictable. The second, Ferdinand de Saussure, ling- language is language Saussure's defined as a twofold thing. First, an inert social system of arbitrary signs, and second, the active individual use of the system sign word. He defines as the bond joining a concept and a caustic image. The sign is arbitrary because the meaning of a word is not inherent in the sounds comprising that word but depends solely upon the conventional use of the word by community. Thus, arbitrary things sure maintain them tend by their very nature to be immutable, that is not subject to change. There is first of all the compelling correspondence between concept and acoustic image, the one always call for the other. Furthermore, since a linguistic sign, the bond between concept and the image is arbitrary, conventional, there can be no logical or necessary conclusion that change the word. Third, Claude Lévi-Strauss will write and the American Western. Cultural structuralism is an approach used to analyze culture developed by Claude Lévi-Strauss. It asserts that human culture, being the set of learned behaviors and ideas that characterize a society, just an expression of the underlying structures of the human mind. Will Wright takes structuralism as his methodology to examine the relation between Western movies and US. Fourth, Roland Barthes methodologies. Roland Barthes' 1957 collection of essay methodologies was one of the first critical reflection on post-war popular culture, Barthes' concise analysis of contemporary French cultural and accompanying territorial essay had a profound influence on a variety of fields, including design studies. For design critics and practitioners alike, methodologies help shape an understanding of how design artifacts operate in a mass consumer culture, less as functional objects and more as metaphoric featureless and collection desires. Five, post-structuralism. Post-structuralism reject the idea of an underlying structure upon which meaning can rest secure, and graduate meaning is always in process. The territories of post-structuralism suggest that the situation is more complex than this. Significance do not produce significance, they produce more significance. Only a writer can bring a temporary unit to a text. Sixth, Jacques Derrida. Post-structuralism is virtually synonymous with the work of Jacques Derrida. The science, as we have noted already, is or for sure made meaningful by its location in a system of difference. Derrida adds this the nation that meaning is also always difference, never fully present, always both absent the present. See discussion of the defining popular culture in chapter 1. Derrida 1973 has invited a new word to describe the defined nature of the sign. Difference meaning both to differ and to differ. Socials models of difference is spectacle in which meaning is made in the relation between signs that are locked together in a self-regulating structure. Derrida's model of difference, however, is both structural and temporal, meaning depends on structural difference but also in temporal relation of before and and after. Seventh, the source and power. Michael Foucault. One of the primary concerns of Michael Foucault is the relationship between knowledge and power and how this relationship operates within the source and discursive formation. Foucault's concept of discourse is similar to Althusser's idea of the problematic that is both are organized and organizing bodies of knowledge with rules and regulations that govern particular practice, ways of speaking, thinking, and acting. 8. The panoptican machine. The panoptican is a type of prison building designed by Jeremy Bentham in 1797. At the center of the building is a tower that all allows the governor to absorb all the Parisians in the surrounding calls without the parents knowing whether or not they are in fact being observed. According to Bentham, the panoptican is a new mode of appreciating power of mind over mind in a quantity hitherto without example, and that to a degree acquired without example. Bentham 1995 31. The last is conclusion from me is structuralism attempts to reach objectivity while post-structuralism denies the possibility. Then while structuralism dares to maintain a close conception between the signifier and the signified, post-culturalism denies the very extent of significance. Thank you. That's it from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.